Lil Baby music does make me feel like I could get my real estate license or, you know, renovate a home to flip above market value for sure. What's going on, everyone? My name's Owen Bones.
I'm Sir Michael Rocks.
We are Mystery School, and today we are checking out Untrapped, the story of Lil Baby.
This guy's the truth.
And I'm 7 years old, and I am a...
Put that thing back, honey.
That's right. And this documentary is going to take us from Lil Baby's gritty past into his meteoric rise into a superstar right now. We're going to also get a bunch of commentary from other rappers and celebrities who also chime in and give us some insight on what created the Lil Baby fandom that we see today.
Shout out Amazon Prime Video for giving us access to these clips. Let's check it out.
Lil Baby was not media trained. He was still very, very raw.
We could get a little more blue with that.
But what I will say is that sometimes the best artists create stuff that you don't understand. And Lil Baby was creating art that I didn't understand. It was so hyper local to him and everything that he was going through.
Shout out my label, that's me. I'm in this GTB. I'm in this before Trey. I just pulled on me a A. Real nigga all in my face. 500 racks in my safe.
In those first videos like Freestyle and My Dog, he's creating this persona that is distilling everything that people know about him in Atlanta. That he's this prolific drug dealer, that he's this amazing gambler, that he's respected in the streets.
They ain't my niggas no more. Hold it down for the fool. In the 9 with the wolves. Marlo my daughters for sure.
And it introduced me to a world that I knew existed, but the way he was telling those stories, I was blown away.
Man, I think like, I never really think about to myself when I hear a new artist, like what gravitates me towards a new artist. And I think that he was right that one of the things that really stood out about Lil Baby was his personality, like demonstrating his personality and who he was and how vibrant that was, you know?
Yeah, I can really tell, especially with newer artists, who kind of like who they are and if they are A, playing a character, B, are they playing that character well, or C, they're being themselves. And I think the main thing that resonated with me with Baby was I could just tell like, oh, this is really that dude. This is really who he is. The way that he expressed himself on his first few songs that I heard him on, you can kind of get the sense that he knew what he was talking about. He wasn't just mimicking or imitating, you know, something that he'd previously seen.
Yeah.
This dude was talking from experience. He was talking from his own experiences in his own brain, which was easy to pick up. And I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards him.
Right.
They can honestly feel that magnetism as well, that, oh, this is a person kind of living their truth right here, and they're creating from their truth as well, which is, it's not that common to see, especially today when you have the industry where you can kind of just create a character and be whatever you want to be, and as long as it's entertaining, people will respond to that. But to be able to be yourself and kind of speak from your own experiences to catapult your career is really rare, and honestly I really respect that.
Yeah, and you know, like as an artist, sometimes you hear other artists like at the very beginning of their career, like the first song you hear from them that blows up, and you're like, oh, this will be someone who like pops off after they get A&R'd or like after they get developed in some way. No one felt that way about Lil Baby. Like he came out and was already a superstar, you know, he like clearly had what it took to be a superstar in my personal opinion.
Just think if he rapped and it didn't work, now your street credibility. He was so respected as a dope boy, as a street cat, he didn't want to tarnish that.
It's hard to tell somebody to stop making money, right now money. You know, you still gotta pay bills, you still got family. I ain't wanna see him just get caught back up and go back to prison, you know?
I used to pay this shit have got stay out of the streets. You can have my money. Just relax. I really sacrifice anything because I see that it can happen. What you finna make today? 20,000? Okay, yeah. 20,000. You don't even owe me. Hey, go home. I used to tell him to go home. You don't even gotta go to the studio. Like, I'm like, okay, you don't gotta rap. Here, bro, go home. Get the out of the block, bro. Go chill with your son, nigga.
It's real.
He could have said, give me $1 million, I would have gave it to him to stay out the street.
That's real. That is really real right there, man. I could totally like not relate as to if it was myself, but to have a person be able to be taken from a situation where they're making hand over fist, quick money day after day, and then tell them, all right, I know you're making money for your family and doing all of this stuff that makes you comfortable and is putting food in your kid's mouth, but I want you to stop all of that right now to go in the studio on a whim and create music that may or may not succeed, but we need you to go in there and try this out, you know, for our own gain and benefit as well. So to get somebody and convince them to leave what they're doing in that way has got to be crazy, man. And it's a real leap of faith on Lil Baby's behalf to risk that. You know, I know it's obviously a risk being in the streets and doing those type of things, but to stop for, you know, a creative dream such as music or rapping is really a big leap of faith, man. I gotta respect that.
Dude, the other thing that I feel like the average music listener wouldn't think about when listening to Lil Baby or other artists is like that choice that you're describing. Not only does he have to risk the money he was making at the time, but the ability to potentially go back to it. You know, he talked about his street cred getting up potentially if music doesn't work out. So it's more than a leap of faith of like, oh, you know, you lose your job, but you can like go back and get gainful employment again. You know, that was like a huge risk on his part. And also, yo, shout out Young Thug for, you know, obviously believing in Lil Baby. He was very open about that in interviews at the time. That's kind of what put me onto Lil Baby, was these interviews with Young Thug talking about how he's next up and he's paying him to stay out of the streets and stuff like that. And clearly his bet paid off.
I remember one night, he sent me a song, and I opened it up and I listened to it, and I was like, oh, he's got the one now.
You ready, baby? Put your headphones on, man, so you can hear what's going on, man. We on the radio. It's about to go down. What song is this?
My dog.
My dog?
Yeah, my dog.
Having pressure about the bitch. I got all my cases dismissed. I don't go back and forth on the internet. Real don't get into that. I'm tryna get it on my for real. I'm tryna get it on my. Me and my dogs, we tryna run your house. We want them bricks, we want the money. You can keep all of the pounds. I can't be f***ing these little bitty cause they be running they mouth. I'm really running this town. Frank Mueller, watch for my wrist. Know the 30,000 in my fist. Cocaine all in my fist.
I made that song, I knew it was the one. I was telling people like, this gonna be the one, this the song.
It was like he had found his swag, and you could hear it all in that record.
Dude, for real, that like, yo, I knew some Lil Baby music before that song came out. That was the one that I heard playing out of cars, you know, when I was downtown in Chicago and stuff like that. You know, when I was just like in my neighborhood walking around, I heard people listen to that out their windows, out of their cars, stuff like that. That was the first hit that I was aware of, for sure.
Facts, man, for real. And it's just like, it's so exciting to see that look on an artist's face when they figure out they got that first huge single, they got that first big hit that's gonna like change the trajectory of their career and really like jump things off. So to see him actually recognize that moment and they documented it and like knew at that time very confidently like that this was the one. Amazing feeling, man. I would like to just go through a list of artists when they did find that first record and get those real-time like stories and reactions from what was the vibe in the studio around that time, what was the vibe in society around that time, on the radio, whatever the case was. These are all very like pivotal moments in an artist's career, if not the biggest moment, your first really big single, man.
It's easy to hear all the great things that people say about you. They'll tell you you're the man one day, and the next day, opinions changed. You just gotta just keep working. You can't really acknowledge how well it's going. You're gonna have to get better, right? That's just how this works. You have to get better, right? I think as far as, you know, the legacy of music goes, forget hip-hop, let's just talk about music, right? Because really that's how we all want to be remembered. Hip-hop and rap is great, but it's just a genre, you know? There's plenty of other artists that have done the exact same things, if not more, in other genres. If you're really about this and you want to be remembered in the legacy of music, it's a pivotal moment for him. It's just time to keep pushing forward.
Like it or not, Drake, one of the kingmakers of modern music. And that was, I think, the point at which a lot of people that didn't previously know about Lil Baby, maybe weren't as tapped in with what's going on in rap music, learned about Lil Baby. Was like, as soon as Drake is saying like, this guy's the one, it's over, you know?
Yeah. That Drake cosign is so different,
It's
man.
different.
It's so different. And to be honest, too, the guy, he knows his stuff, man.
Yeah.
Like, love him or hate him, the guy has consistently been on top of the game since he made his way into the game, man. And I think that he does have an eye for talent. He has an eye for progress. He
Yeah.
has an eye for potential. And I think that when he does identify something, he has that type of personality, it seems, that he likes to embrace that. And he
Yeah.
likes to get in the studio with artists that he admires at the time. He likes to mingle and really like form a bond with them, form a connection if it exists, and really give them probably a bunch of gems and jewels that he's been given throughout his journey in music too. He seems like the type that is really willing to share experience and knowledge with newer artists, younger artists, and put them on game so they don't have to make mistakes that he might have made or mistakes that he's seen. And I like what he was saying about wanting a legacy outside of just hip hop, but music at large, which is really the goal here, man. Because, like he said, it's only a genre. Hip hop's only a genre. You definitely want to be remembered as
A good
pivotal musician, man. And yeah, I think he's got an eye for knowing who has that potential. Man.
Yeah,
So
he's been
smart
through
dude.
he's been through a bunch of those cycles himself. He's watched other artists go through those cycles, so you know, I take his word for it.
Got the stats, who deserve it, who put the work in. It's f***ed up, really.
And for them just to skip over that like it's like a slap in the face to me. But I'm just like, you know, that's just how I feel. Ultimately, it's your decision.
So you saying you feel like don't perform now?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
We look up to this like it's supposed to be. This is the reward for all the hard work that you put in. It's supposed to be the biggest reward. But I was like, f him, because that don't really determine who you are and what you do. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
when we bigger than that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's how I feel, but I feel like I be feeling like a performance bigger than an award. You feel me? Like I feel like because it's such a big award space or whatever, and I got a chance to perform, I'd rather perform than, cause I care about a performance more than an award. I like it's something that you gonna never be able to forget. You gonna keep being able to replay it, especially like with Scream. I got people in prison who gonna see it. My little kids who can't be like. Versus just me getting an award, like I ain't really into the award part, like versus just like I'm gonna be mad that they ain't give me an award, so I ain't performing. I ain't one of them type artists. I really don't like. I get how you saying you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like almost a slap in the face. Like you deserve this, you don't get what you deserve. But you know where I come from. Yeah, I'm performing at the Grammy. I ain't really tripping. I don't got that.
Wow, not what I expected from him. Not what I expected his response to be to the Grammy snub and to his, record label / management, telling him not to perform there. Not what I was expecting him to say.
I had no reason to think otherwise, but what a reasonable response from Lil Baby, man. Like I have so much respect for that, because like, when you're at that level, when you get that big, and you have the numbers to back it up objectively that he did, when you have the social relevance, and to be excluded like that, I think even very reasonable people would feel, if nothing else, upset, like they deserve that acknowledgement, that recognition. But I do think it takes a special presence of mind, to be like, no, it's not really about getting the award. It's kind of more of the acknowledgement of what I already have done. And I really think it's cool that he made the distinction between the performance versus getting the award, that it's still really cool to perform at the Grammys. He's still an extraordinarily successful guy. He wasn't even looking for the award anyway. I have a lot of respect for that.
Man, and did you catch in there when he also said, he was like, I won't be getting the award, but this performance in my eyes will last longer than me receiving an award.
That's
and
crazy.
I never really thought about that, but I kind of resonate with that, because that performance will be documented, filmed. It's a moment in time. His kids will be able to see that. I mean, obviously your kids can see if you won a Grammy, but who's watching a Grammy reception over and over again, and
It's like
watching
industry people, you know?
watching yourself win an award and give a speech. That's like a once in a lifetime thing you want to see one time. A performance that's legendary at a legendary show is something that you would watch over and over and relive over and over. There's so much energy and magic in there, and the fact that he didn't let his honestly deserved ego take over and cause him to not perform there was really mature on his part, man. Even his management was like, nah, man, we're not doing that, man. Like, this is disrespectful. And they're way older than him, and they weren't even able to process the bigger picture of performing at the Grammys at that time. They were just like, yo, man, you got the numbers, you the man, let that ego take over and give the Grammys the middle finger, man. And he was like, I could, but no, dude, like, I'm going to put myself in the back seat and think about the future and think about the bigger picture here and just do the show.
It's inspiring to see his thought process about this, because you don't often get led into the lives of people or see a snapshot of time in the lives of people who are experiencing such meteoric success, such huge success, and to then see someone act reasonably and exercise like good judgment where, you know, a lot of the time ego would take over. It's inspirational, man. So really cool to be led into that part of his life.
With my music, I want to show people what's going on in our world. And what's continuing to go on. Trade my 4x4 for a GC3, ain't no more free little Steve. I gave him chance again, I even told him please. I find it crazy the police will shoot you and know that you dead but still tell you to freeze. Fucked up, I seen what I seen. I guess that mean hold him down if he say he can't breathe. It's too many mothers just grieving, they killing us for no reason. Been going on for too long to get even. Throw us in cages like dogs and hyenas. I went to court and they sent me to prison. My mama was crushed when they said I can't leave. First I was drunk, then I sobered up quick when I heard all that time that they gave to Talib. He got a life sentence plus.
It's like throwing an ice cold glass of water on somebody. You didn't expect that, like, oh. So now you gotta wake up to Lil Baby, but also you gotta really pay attention to what Lil Baby's saying, because it's him saying it.
Every color person ain't dumb, and all white's not racist. I be judging by the mind and heart, I ain't really in the face.
Bigger Picture is one of those timestamp records, man. Like, you gonna hear that record, and you gonna remember the pandemic of 2020. You gonna remember how Black Lives Matter was flooding the street.
Man, he is not lying,
Heavy,
dude.
man.
That tore through the internet when that came out. I remember that.
Heavy stuff, dude. Yeah, I remember it was obviously 2020, but we were mid-lockdown, man. I remember seeing that for the first time, mid-lockdown. We're going down our timelines on Twitter, Instagram, all these sites and stuff, and this video is starting to circulate everywhere.
Right.
Click on it, and I'm listening to it. I've never really heard Lil Baby rap in that light before. Obviously, he's always been, you know, street smart and has always spoken about things that go on in the streets and in that world. But this time, it seemed like the perspective was a little bit more like broad, a little bit more overarching than usual. And he was speaking for, you know, an entire culture of people and an entire generation of people as well. You know, there was just a ton of wild stuff happening around that time in the country. So the fact that he was moved enough to step up and actually address it in his own way was really cool to me, and I really respected him a lot more after seeing that, because I was like, oh, it's obviously he's got a lot more on his mind than what is being perceived. You know, I think he's perceived as a street rapper, you know, street dude, Atlanta street rapper, trap stuff, but dude has a brain in his head, and he's got thoughts that are pivotal, man, and he's thinking in a grand scheme of things, man. And that song right there really kind of woke me up a little bit to like the potential that he actually does have as not just a rapper, but like an author, a writer. Like, I really started to respect his pen a lot after that, because he was really saying a lot of important stuff that needed to be said.
Yeah, dude. And also, you know, I think it's just really particularly admirable when an artist that is known for doing one thing, you know, and at the time, like, people knew Lil Baby as like a poppin' rapper, the average person anyway, the average music listener, you know, poppin' rapper, but like to really come out suddenly and use your platform to address some sort of social issue that's important to you, you know, and like really step out in that light. It was surprising, because a lot of rappers, frankly, are open now about like, dude, I'm only doing this for the money. Like the interviews right now, like straight up admitting on wax, like, I'm only doing this to make money, you know, and to kind of move around that and be like, wait, no, hold on, I need to look at this for what it actually is. I'm someone with a platform. People look up to me. I have reach. And to, you know, address the social issues of our time, you can't help but respect it, man. I have so much respect for that, and I think that that was a really impactful moment on the internet, but just historically, his contribution, you know. All right, we're also gonna check out some of the very insightful comments left under the trailer of the Lil Baby documentary here on YouTube. Hopefully, these are educational and make us feel good, man. What do you think?
I think we got a 50-50 shot here, man. I'm feeling good though, man. The doc was great. We learned a lot about Lil Baby and his journey. So I think that people should be they should be on point.
Okay,
I'm excited to check these out.
Let's check them out. 876 Dolphus says, capitalizing the first letter of each word, let's all take a moment to give thanks to these rappers who decided that one day they should rap. Thank you, Lil Baby, for becoming a rapper to making our day.
Heart emoji.
Heart emoji as well. Yeah, dude. Thank you, Lil Baby.
Appreciate it,
you
man.
know,
yeah.
Thanks.
Pretty much that's all we can really say is just thanks. Good job.
We also appreciate Lil Baby deciding to become a rapper. So.
Seriously.
876 Dolphus, man, we couldn't agree more. RR says, not gonna lie, I dreamed about him being at my neighbor's place last night, laughing, crying emoji.
Okay. I guess.
You know, not a particularly eventful dream. Like, to dream about Lil Baby, you know, it's like, oh, bro, I dreamed I was in the studio with Lil Baby. He's like, no, he's just at my neighbor's house. We didn't talk or like say hi.
As a civilian, he was just there, just doing civilian stuff.
RR, you can dream bigger, man. But if that was really cool too, then who am I to tell you? Key2E says Lil Baby's one of the best because females and males listen to his music, and he just keeps making songs to memorize, and they're worthy to repeat.
I like descriptions like that. Cut and dry, straight to the point right there, very clearly expressed. I could totally agree, man.
Yes.
I think that Lil Baby does transcend gender and generation and all those things. He's just like one of those once in every couple years figures that appears in our lives and makes music that transcends like what he is or who he is, and it kind of just touches on a lot of people, man. It kind of just gives a lot of people the same vibe that it was when he created it, which I really respect, man.
Key2E.
Really love an artist that comes out like that.
Could not agree more, dude. Sam Zira says, fascinating. Remove Drake and you have perfection. Aw, man, Drake catching the wild stray here.
Why Drake, man? I mean, it's Drake, of course, but like, he's still a really smart, cool, successful, rich, hit-making guy. Like, you cannot take that away. I know people have their personal qualms against Drake and for whatever reason, but you can't take away the stats, man. The man's got the stats, and he is a titan. So.
And like, if it wasn't for Drake, I feel like, you know, Lil Baby was obviously very successful before Drake co-signed him. I would never say that he would not have been successful if it wasn't for Drake, but I do feel like Drake kind of put on a lot of people who otherwise might not have heard about Lil Baby, you know? So I do think that he is a integral part of the story, if nothing else. You know, he's not responsible for Lil Baby's career or anything, but like, he for sure played a big part in his story and his ascent to stardom. So leave Drake in, man. Like, you got to talk about Drake when you're talking about his rise to stardom, you know?
Cut the Drake hate, man.
Come on,
it ain't even cool anymore.
It's not
dude.
cool anymore.
Like, that's old.
Vance Gilmore says, I'm not smart enough to follow how fast rap lyrics are, but I do hope the best for Dominique and his family.
Well, that was a reasonable take right
Very
there.
reasonable.
Thank you, Vance. Appreciate that.
Vance, it's all right. You know, you can also go to YouTube or Amazon Prime Video and put it on like half speed or quarter speed and like really sound it out. Like, it's okay, you know. Or may I recommend to you the genre Chopped and Screwed?
Aha.
You know, that might help you kind of build a palate to understand what rappers are saying at a slower speed, but it's okay. You can still enjoy Lil Baby's music. Thanks to Baby's motivating music, I was able to buy my first property. Glory to the Most High and Baby's motivating anthems.
Nice, man.
I mean, I guess
love
Lil Baby,
music that does that for people.
Lil Baby music does make me feel like I could get my real estate license or, you know, renovate a home to flip above market value for sure.
Yeah, it is. Lil Baby, in my opinion, he does have music that motivates you to do something.
Yeah.
Like it makes you want to go work out.
sure.
Like I've listened to Lil Baby songs before and noticed that my walking speed has gotten faster.
Right.
And then I'm like, I'm running right now.
Yeah.
Like, why am I running? I'm just going to the car. Like, why am I running right now? But his music got that type of energy that really just motivates you to get into action, man. So shout out to Baby for that.
I couldn't agree more. Shout out to all the insightful YouTube commenters as well. Thanks for leaving these comments. And we agree with most, but not all of the feelings that you expressed here today. We appreciate it. Wow. Well, thank you, Amazon Prime Video, for giving us early access to Untrapped, the story of Lil Baby. I knew it was going to be entertaining. I knew it was going to be exciting.
Right.
I didn't know how inspiring it was going to be, man. And I'm really glad that we got to check out some of those clips.
Yeah, it was really cool to see his rise into stardom from just being on the block, doing block stuff, man, being on the streets. So it was really cool to get that inside view as he made his ascension up into superstardom, man. We saw some celebrity cameos. We saw some of his management chime in and give us a little insight. Really learned a lot about Baby and his thought process and his music in general. And it was just really good to get to know him as a person a little bit more. We met his family a little bit and just really got to see what the day-to-day is kind of like for him.
Yeah, so once again, that was Untrapped, the story of Lil Baby. You can watch it exclusively on Amazon Prime Video. Go check it out. My name's Owen Bones.
I'm Sir Michael Rocks.
We are Mystery School, and we'll see you later. Peace.